Friends, it's your old pal, Sir Nigel, here with some Rampart. On the Sega Genesis. It's an arcade game that's been ported to the Sega Genesis, and you can definitely tell that it was an arcade game because it still wants those quarters. But it's a fun game, though. So we're going to do a little practice of it, just see how far we can get on this playthrough. It's an especially fun game in two-player mode. In fact, the one-player and two-player versions are fairly different. Same basic mechanics, but in the one-player version, you're fighting against an oncoming fleet of ships. In the two-player version, you're fighting against, well, another player with another castle. So one of the things you want to focus on when playing is making sure the ships stay away from the shore. The ships from the shore. Because when a ship gets near the shore, it can start offloading troops, which then you have to build around, and they're annoying to deal with. Now we have to go into the repair phase, which is somewhat based on the luck of the draw, based on what sort of pieces you get during the repair phase. And you want to enclose as many castles as you can, because the more castles you enclose, the more cannons you get between each round. See, now instead of 2 cannons, we get 3. And getting cannons is really one of the keys to winning. It allows you to go a little bit of a machine gun with your cannons to sink these ships. So you want to keep them away from the shore so they can't land their troops on the shore. So the repair phase, as you can already see, you have all these different shapes of blocks that you get randomly, which you can rotate. It's not too bad right now, because I say that as there we go. It's not too bad right now because we're on the first level. But as you get to further levels, further stages, then the shapes you start getting are more funky and harder to work with. And in order to keep playing from one round to the next, you have to be able to enclose your castle between rounds. If after the little building period ends, your castle isn't fully enclosed by walls, then you have to start over, and you can only do that so many times in this game. Of course, it's always good to expand the land area when you can. See, we just want to make sure that at least that castle's enclosed. Because the more land you have, the more room you have for cannons. We'll just build like another room there, at least we'll start to. You have to enclose any area you want to use. And it's a good thing we have this extra area, because now we have these 3 extra cannons and no room by our main castle to place them. In fact, we only have room for 2 extra cannons, even though we earned 3. Let's get rid of these ships. Smack that A button like crazy. They're going to want to land some troops. I wonder if that ship right above them is close enough. Oh, there we go. We beat the first level, the first stage. Da, 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 da. So now we can choose where we want to play next. Let's go here. And we start off with the customary 2 cannons. These ships here with the big sails are tricky because they don't land any troops, which is usually what you want to focus on avoiding, but they shoot these flaming cannonballs which stay on the field, and you have to just build around them. The flaming cannonballs do disappear after a few rounds, but they can be a hassle to deal with at first, and you can see we're already getting some funky pieces. Start building walls around this castle. We probably won't be able to complete it this round. Nope. But maybe next round we'll be able to enclose that castle too. And the higher the level you get to, the more important it is to get the extra castles and the extra cannons from them. Okay, no troops for you. And no troops for you. And remove your fiery cannonballs, please. No troops for you. No troops for you. But that ship on the right is probably still going to be able to land its troops. You can see the cannonballs still on the field. And here comes the troops, which you just have to simply work around if they get near your castle. Those here. No, come on, give us a piece we can work with, please. Thank you. Ah, there we go. Double castles. You can blast the troops on the ground if you want to. But the problem with that, so you can do this, but the problem with that is it takes some of your limited time for your attack round to try to get rid of them. Which you need to really spend that time focusing on the ships. Look how many ships, all those ships have pulled up to shore now. So that's not very good. Because now they can get troops right by our castle. And you can see as time goes on, it gets trickier to rebuild your walls too, because things don't fit very well. Oh, come on quickly now. Beautiful. So even though you can blast the troops that are already there, you really only want to do that if you have some extra time to spare in the combat phase. Because you mostly want to focus on these ships to keep them from getting more troops by your castle. So just blast the heck out of this. Now, I think in the original Rampart arcade game, you played the game with a big old trackball. But of course here you're playing with a gamepad. Okay, we're probably not going to be able to finish our castle here. Because all these troops are in the way. Ah, we did it anyhow! Look at that! Even with the troops in the way. If you can enclose some of them, that does get rid of them. We're barely able to do that. Hopefully, this is the round that we win. And because there was still that cannonball right there, that prevented us from being able to place another cannon in a spot that we normally would be able to. Come on, you ships, get the heck out of here. No one invited you to this party. And a little special cannonball ship. Did we win? We won. Good. On to the next level. Between this one and this one. Which one we gonna do? Let's see. This one right here. When you're picking a castle, it's good to try to pick one that's a little farther away from the walls, so you don't have as many obstacles to work with when you're trying to rebuild the walls later on, especially once the walls start getting a little bigger and messier as the game progresses. Thankfully, I don't think any of the ships land their troops on the first stage. So that does give you a chance to build up for it a little more, considering on the first stage you only have the 2 cannons when you're first starting out, so you don't have much chance to wipe out the ships. Oh, hello, second castle, how are you? And we get 3 lovely cannons. All the better to wipe out these fellows with. I suppose if you wanted to get really accurate, you could start counting your cannon shot and try to give a specific number to each ship. Oops, misplaced there. So that way you're not spending too many shots on any one particular ship. A piece we can use, please. A piece we can use, please. A piece we can use, please. A piece we can use. A piece we can use. Thank you. Oh, just barely got that in there. And these ones are going to be a menace, and they're going to be a menace. Would you please stop moving so we can aim more precisely? And they're a menace. And we hit mostly the beach. That's great. Okay. Try to use the pieces strategically. I think that was a stupid use of a piece. That was not particularly strategic, because now we have 2 places where we can't... No. There was no way, as you could see, no way to fit a piece up against the wall there. So now you have to start over. And you basically start the entire level over again, which is oh so fun. You have to play a certain number of rounds before you beat the level and can progress to the next level, so it's not too great. Unfortunately, the game does have that random element where the shapes that you get for the different wall pieces are completely random. And that's one of the elements they used to try to get quarters in the arcade, which of course doesn't matter so much in a home console game, but because this is a pretty straight arcade port, they still left that feature in the game here. And we only get the 2 cannons because we only have the 1 castle. So make sure we take care of these troop ships first. Oh, they're gonna get on the shore. Now, what are we supposed to do here? I guess we just try to form a new wall. Come on. Come on, shape. The, oh, we can't use that there. The controls aren't always as precise as you may want. Oh, there was that space off towards the right side of the castle that didn't get closed up. Oh, don't pause the game, build the wall of the castle in the game. So the ships reset, the level resets, everything resets because the castle did not get its wall completed, so it didn't get enclosed. And now we have the wonderful task of trying to fit all the pieces. And you don't really want to spend too much time trying to think about it. Oh, gotta do that, even though it uses up more room. Because otherwise, you end up spending all your time thinking about the pieces instead of placing them and finishing up your castle wall. Two more cannons when what we could really use are at least 3 more. Take care of them first because they're the closest troop transport. And take care of them. And they're headed over here. And we didn't have... Oh, I thought the round ended. Whatever, weren't able to get to that last troop transport. Which means it's probably going to transport troops. As they are wont to do. Oh, can't fit. Not going to fit there. That works. That doesn't work. Oh, bugger. I think this is the last time we can restart our castle. So again, try to very carefully and precisely take care of the troop carriers. Make all the pieces fit. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. These are just beautiful pieces. Okay, good. At least we got the first construction taken care of. It doesn't matter how big a castle wall you build around the castles themselves when you enclose them. If all you're trying to do is enclose them so you can get more cannons. So if you have enough time, you can enclose some of the other castles really quick to boost your number of cannons. But of course you need a place to actually put all the cannons, otherwise you won't be able to place them. And the castle wall gets messier. See, if we do that there and that there, we can do that there and that there. Piece we can use, looking for a piece we can use. It doesn't want to give us one. Hooray! Bugger! There we go, high scores, blobbity blobbity blah. Well, that is just a short video. As you can tell from that beginning screen, this is one of the few Sega games that doesn't actually have the little Sega logo at the beginning of the game. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Following is wonderful and magic and all those things. And tune in again next time for more fun.